Hello there and welcome. I'm Kate in the Nest and I hope you're well. I haven't done any stitching today, so this is just one of those random come down to the nest and turn the camera on and have a chat with you. It's back to being a bit gloomy here, so I always tend to look at my colours when the weather is like that. And I did want to share with you just the beauty of nature. I'm hoping you can see this. I'm just going to go up. These little, gone blank, hellebores, they grow and often the head is down in my garden, and then when I pick them up, I just see that beauty and that detail, and that's just inspired me to get back in my garden of little pieces that remain works in progress and just do some stitching. So as I said, I'm not a great gardener, but I do rejoice every time I see a flower. So that's my intro. And here is a big, me and my big pouches. I'm not a one project type of girl, as you know. But I have gathered in here together some of my little pieces, and I love this. It's almost like a lucky dip. I thought I'd just have a look at where I'm up to with a few little bits. I haven't come back to that one yet. And underneath it, I've got this other scrappy piece. And I've actually got my number. I found my other J. Anyway, I won't get distracted. Hang on. Excuse me. The sneezes, all sorts of things coming out. So I can see that I do not, this beautiful piece of embroidery, when I put it on, was not totally right at the time, but I don't want to. So I did have an idea of starting with this piece and adding on. And actually, as I say that out loud, what if this grew from a square in the center, and then it'd be even more fun to chop it out, because that's what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot I had that piece as well. Okay, Kate. See, get down here and the ideas all start to flow. However, I did put one thread together because I really feel like stitching. What about you? Hope you cozy, have your cup of tea or coffee, and let's just get going. I saw here that I did a rather messy, have I got a knot? Yep. A rather messy join here. So this is a variegated. It's the one with the orange and the green. So I thought, let's see if we can use this in here. Thank you to all of you who watched my last nest video. I feel very blessed that you have liked that, and that has inspired me. So stay tuned. Something else special in my August kin story is coming up, but not today. I've actually been to Sydney. I don't know whether I've told you that, which always makes me. I saw my mum, which is an absolute joy. But it is a bit of a drive. So when I don't get to come down to my studio first in the morning, it always seems like extra special reward to be down here and stitching away. I'm turning this leaf, which is that same tapestry fabric. Thank you, Therese. If you're new, and I know some of you are, like I went overboard, I think, at the start and bought huge bits, lengths of bargain fabric, but I've discovered that you don't need very much, and if you've got big bits, it will really set you up, for life almost. So grab the little bits too. They're easiest to store. But yeah, in this sort of scrappy work, which yeah, you know me and the word scrap. Got to think of another word that means the same thing, the leftovers. Or they're not even leftovers because they're going to be used. Anyway, that's me going off on a tangent. But see, the beauty of this variegated thread is that I started off green, and then right in time I had it turn pink and gold, and now back. So it is joining these two bits of different material together in a decorative way. I've been, I don't know whether I told you that. I baked paper at the beginning of the week because I'm working on some journals. So I use tea for paper and I use coffee for fabric. So I've also got the washing line full of coffee dyed fabric, which is ready for another project. So I sort of spent my time in prep and then on the road, and now this signifies the beginning of a couple of days where I can hopefully be creative from morning to night. Okay, so there is that little bit of stitching, nothing flashy, but I'll come back and work on that as well at another time. I am interested in options, and I'm going to do this one here. I want to highlight these mauve. Now I know this might cause some of you pain, but I'll use this remnant. In fact, it could go on, I won't show you that now because I'll get carried away. I know where that's exactly going. But that little snip has taken away that big white do there, and now has exposed some of this beautiful linen underneath, which gives me opportunity to join maybe something like that into the garden. What else have we got? That's white again. I've been playing. Here's another little bit. So this might be the piece. Yes. Did I like it the first way? I did. Except I lose that flower. Okay, let's trim this down. And so this is where I was influenced by Kelly in her itty bitty course, which I'm still doing. But as I've said many times, the reason we expose ourselves to learning is to follow. If we have a little glimmer of an idea, we'll go, we want to try that. But also to find out what we like and what we don't like. And I like all that she does, but I cannot do it her way. But what I have come away with is this idea to have little morsels that help my gardens grow together more easily. Okay, So I like that. It's still got white on it, but let's have a little bit of a play. Out of practice. So here we have opportunity, and yes, that's bumpy, but that doesn't worry me. And now we get to feature that little bit of a, it might be better if I dip in. So there I was talking about, it felt like spring was coming, and then I'm back in my fleecy, well, I came home and you know that feeling when you just want to get in snuggly wuggly clothes. So I have tracky pants on and a snuggle jumper. Okay, where are you going to come up, Kate? I want that green to join to that other flower in a minute, but not yet. As usual, when I arrived to see my gorgeous mum, she looked at my little bag and said, "Oh, I love that bag." And we had a giggle. And I said, "Mum, we've loved little bags and pouches our entire lives together." And she agreed. Every time we go out, she has a different one. But she uses new fabric. So let's try a different adventure over here. And see, when I've got blanket behind it, I don't actually have to put the stuffing in because it already is a little bit more jutty-outy. Not that that's a word. We've been playing that game Connections. It's a New York Times game, and I was just thinking about the word then I made up. It's so much fun. Sometimes it's straightforward, and other times it's very challenging. But I mean, I'm fascinated by words. So we've added that to the daily Wordle. I'm talking about my husband and I. And it's sort of a nice thing to do together. And two brains are better than one, many times. But as I said, jutty-outy, I was thinking now, what's the connection? What's the right word for that? Would that be called a synonym? I'm not sure. Okay, we're having a little orange lazy daisy up here. There we are. Now let's go to the back and just come up somewhere up here, a smaller distance. Or I could actually, let's come up and add to, oh, it's a bit awkward, add to this flower. So I just realised I was gone quiet. That's what happens when you get in the zone and your hands are busy and your brain can fly free. All sorts of things. Then of course I have to go now. Do I talk about that? I was actually looking forward to my next projects. Right, so here, just because I feel like it, we can make sure that that's very secure, which it is, and come down over the top, over that seed stitch, and just join those pieces together. And there we go. Oh, I've done it again. I could just go over there. This will never be exposed, it will be buried. I was just thinking about this flower again. And look at it. I think Fleur does that, doesn't she? Like she dots the stitches out. And I'm just looking at that beautiful, the French knots, and I didn't show you that one. I always think it's amazing on the same branch. You've got the same thing, but not yet into fruition. I'll actually put that back in the vase so it doesn't get too thirsty. Okay, I've had enough of that one. Let's go to here. And I did have a bit of braid I thought might live here. And I had another little tiny flower that I buried. Oh, this one. So let's trim that down. Where in this garden could that grow? Maybe in here? Take that out of the way. See, I like that stitching that I did under there. So let's go boom, 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 boom. Yep. So change of colour. I've got a few different pinks, but this one isn't my favourite. But the others are in another spot. So does that leave? No, I think it has to be contrasty. Oh, I can't use those blue scissors. I want pink on pink right now. let's is that feeling hard to get through? I suppose it's through about 4 different layers. Now that's better. And even though it's really just in and out stitches, I never cease to be amazed at how many different effects we can get. So aren't we lucky? Whether you know the name of them or studied embroidery formally, I just think it's a wonderful thing that all the stitches have come out of people experimenting. And I did that that same cotton up there, and now I'm going to do something different with that. So now, because we're joining onto this area, we're going to change directions, gather everything up. There we go. So we've joined that under there, and there's a little bit too much white there. So now, especially because it's not in the half, it's down the bottom, let's do some edging type stitches. Now, what did I see before? I get a little strand of this. Oh. Okay, so this is multicolored, and I haven't planned anything, but I want to start moving from this out into there, and I think those colors are not right. So as we always say, there's no mistakes. So let's just do more. What's happened? Oh, that's all right. I just got caught. Ironically, I've got a red bit here. Oh. Sorry everyone, this applique Cotton is very tight weave, so I'll try and just go in the stitching. That would be much more sensible, Kate. This really does look like a caterpillar or a grub. Still not in the pretty stage, but at least that's lessened the blockedness at this point. Let's see what we can do gardening wise. So if I come up here, so we've got lots of wool. I'm going over the petals of this print, using them as the pattern. And creating a completely different sort of flower. But quite conveniently has led me to this purple one here. So I hope you're working on your own project, because this one is really like stream of consciousness today. It's like, yeah, free form. Have needle, have thread, have bits of fabric, and here we go. So now it's turned into a satin stitch around this little piece. Different petal in different direction. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll come back and put French knots and finish that, and that stitch didn't work, so I'll cross those out somehow. But for now, let's go on a little meander in wool across here. I think this is sheeting fabric again, and you can really feel that we value as humans it to sleep on, but it's not as easy to stitch on. I've got to stop blaming the needle, and look at that, for a nice little pop of purple, and almost diagonal to there. It's going white and greeny as we get towards the leaves. You may remember that if you saw this one, I don't know which it was on, that I tried to join those leaves up so it's like a natural progression. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, nearly out of thread, so we'll go around here. It's almost like we've gone full circle. We'll just add don't lose that. Oh, I did. Some stitching over the side. Okay, I haven't done anything with that yet, but I might save that for another time. So there we go. That's a little stitch along in the nest. And I hope you got some stitching done too. I feel so much better for doing that. And remember, the idea is we just start somewhere and explore. We can change our minds. There's no mistakes. It's just the joy of gardening and stitching. Oh, so with that, I'll leave you with that beautiful flower because that's made me happier by sharing that with you. Okay, until next time, see you soon. Bye.